welcome to another one of Miss Ridley's Math Moments. Today we're going to be talking about the fundamentals of multiplication and division. Okay, so we're going to start with our standards. The first standard we're really going to be focusing on today is I can understand that multiplication is thinking about groups and objects. Okay, and I'm going to go deeper into that and really explain it to you and how that works in multiplication in a few minutes. And then the second standard we're going to be working on today is I can understand division is thinking about how one group can be divided into smaller groups. And we will dive into that standard today also. So let's start off with a few vocabulary words. I'm going to introduce them to you, and then we're going to go into them more as I explain the parts of multiplication and division equations. The first vocabulary word I want you to know is factor. Okay, so I'm going to tell you all about what a factor is. It is a part of a multiplication equation, and I'm going to show you exactly what that is in a few moments. The next vocabulary word I want you to know is product. The product is the answer to a multiplication equation, the total in a multiplication equation. And I'm also going to explain to you what that is in a few moments. And the last vocabulary word that we're going to talk about today is quotient. The quotient is our answer to a division equation. Okay, so let's dive a little bit further into this concept of multiplication and division. So, multiplication and division equations have three numbers in them. Okay, and those three numbers represent three different things. One number represents the total, one number represents the number of equal groups, and one number represents the size of each group. Okay, so let's break that down into multiplication. Here we have a multiplication array. This is an array. An array is divided into rows and columns. And we see equal groups, meaning there is the same amount in each group in the rows and columns. Okay, so that is a multiplication array, or it's an array. And I'm gonna talk about how this equation right here tells us about this array. Okay, so these two numbers in the multiplication equation, those two numbers are our factors. So 3 and 4 are our factors. Okay, so the first factor in a multiplication equation is 3, or in this multiplication equation is 3, and that tells us that there are 3 equal groups. So if we count each group, there are 3 equal groups. There are 3 rows, so there are 3 equal groups. The second factor in a multiplication equation, in this multiplication equation, is 4. So that tells us that there are 4 in each group. So the groups are equal, and if we count each group, we see that there are 4 in each group. Okay, 4 in each group. So our 4 tells us how many there are in each group. Okay, so 3 and 4 are our factors. The last number in this multiplication equation is 12. 12 is our product because it tells us the total of this multiplication equation. The total, also the answer. So in this array, if we count all of the red circles in the array, there are 12 red circles. Let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so there are 12 red circles. 12 is our total, and 12 is also our product of this equation. So 3 and 4 are our factors. 12 is our product. 3 tells us that there are 3 equal groups. 4 tells us that there are 4 in each group. And 12 tells us that there are 12 total. Let's do the same thing with our division equation. Here we have the same array of red circles, but the numbers are a little bit different. Every division equation begins with the total. Okay, so if we look at this array, the total amount of red circles in this array is 12. We can count them to find out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. There are 12 total in this array. Those 12 total circles are divided into 3 groups, okay? So there are 3 rows, 1, 2, 3. 3 rows, so there are 3, it's divided into 3 equal groups. So 12 total divided into 3 equal groups means there are 4 in each group. Okay, so if we count each group, there are 4 in each one. Let's do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in each group. And 4 is also our quotient. The quotient is our answer to our division equation. And it tells us there are 4 in each group. Okay, so let's do a little bit of practice with a different equation or a different array. So I'm going to create an array. Let's do 5. I'm going to put 5 in each group. And I'm going to make 2 groups. 2 groups, 5 in each group. So let's create a multiplication equation to match this array. So our first factor is going to tell us how many groups there are. So I see 1, 2 groups. So our first factor is going to be 2. Okay. And then our second factor is going to tell us how many there are in each group. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there are 5 in each group. So our second factor will be 5. And our last number is our product. And our product will tell us how many there are total. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There are 10 red circles total. So that is our product. And there is our multiplication equation for this array. Next, let's create a division equation for this array. Same array, different equation. So every division equation begins with the total. We know from multiplying that there is a total of 10 circles in this array. We can count to double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 total in this array. Those 10 circles are divided into 2 equal groups. 1 equal group, 2 equal groups. So 10 divided by 2. And then we know that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in each group. So 10 divided into 2 equal groups means that there are 5 in each group. So our answer will be 5. There is our division equation to match this array. Okay, scholars, we have talked about our 2 standards to try and understand how to think about multiplication as groups and objects. And we have talked about how division can be shown by dividing a group of objects into smaller groups. That's it for today. As always, all I ever ask of you is that you do your very best. And until next time, sparkle and shine.